Man is done when he is brave. According to Metrolink, the man is afraid of God. As we have learned from previous chapters, the only way to overcome fear is to get closer to the source of that fear. Jehoshaphat and his army discovered their opponents had destroyed as they prepared to face the enemy and sang songs of praise to the Lord for his mercy everlasting. There was nothing to argue between them. To illustrate, a woman asked a friend to tell another friend something. She hesitated to break the news. Avoid getting into this situation as the logical mind recommends. Don't communicate that. Since taking her vows, she has been mentally tormented. She was finally committed. Approach the lion and invoke the divine law of protection. The buddy to whom she wanted to bring the news was greeted by her. When her pal said that, she parted her lips to say it, but her friend had already left town. Since the subject depends on the person's presence in town, breaking the news was unnecessary. She didn't have to, as she was willing and not afraid that circumstances would change. Because of his perception of incompetence, the student often delays his demonstration. He should mention that. There is no incompleteness in the divine intellect. This ends my demonstration. My ideal house, my ideal word, and my ideal state of health. Whatever he requires, our ideal thoughts must be registered in the divine mind and ideally come about through grace. He expresses gratitude for the unseen blessings he has already received and actively makes plans to receive the apparent blessings. One of my students needed a financial case study. She came up to me and asked why it wasn't ready yet. I answered, the subconscious may have developed a habit of not getting done because you have a pattern of leaving things unfinished. The inside reflects the outside. She spoke, you're right. I often start things but never finish them. I'm going home and finishing something I started a few weeks ago, and I know it will serve as a visual representation of my argument. She worked diligently, and the play was soon fine as head. Money soon appeared in the most peculiar way. That month her husband received 2 paychecks. Opal said to keep it when he informed them of their error. A person makes a request and expects to receive it since God makes his own channels. I've occasionally been asked, if someone has many skills, how does one decide which one to pursue? Say, unlimited mind, give me clear direction, reveal to me my impeccable self-expression, and show me what skills I should be practicing right now. Demand to be verifiably reported. I have seen people with little or no education enter a new field of work fully prepared. So explain the fact. I have everything I need to carry out the divine plan for my life, and I am not afraid to take opportunities. Some people are happy recipients but enthusiastic givers. They block their channels by refusing gifts out of pride or some other undesirable motive, almost often ending with little to nothing. For example, a woman who had donated a lot of money received a gift offer of many thousands of dollars. She said she didn't need it and declined to take it. She soon found herself in financial difficulties and found herself owing this amount of money. Man should accept with kindness the bread that is returned to him at sea. He gave everything for free, and so must you. Giving and taking are always perfectly coordinated. Although a man should contribute without considering what he might receive in return, it is against the law to refuse the rewards offered to him. Since God is the source of all gifts and man is only the channel, there should never be a lack-related conception in the mind of the giver. For example, I didn't comment, poor man, when the man offered me a dime. He can't offer me that. I've witnessed him being wealthy and successful with supplies coming in. This idea was the trigger. If a person has been a poor recipient, he must change his channels and open up to reception, even accepting a postage stamp that has been handed to him. Both a joyful giver and a joyful receiver are loved by the Lord. I am often asked why one man is born wealthy and healthy while the other is poor and sick. There is always a reason for every effect. Coincidence is a non-existent concept. The law of reincarnation offers a solution to this question. Man has many births and deaths until he discovers the truth that sets him free. He is drawn back to the plane of earth because of an unfulfilled desire to fulfill his destiny or to settle his karmic obligations. The wealthy and healthy man who is born has images of health and wealth in his subconscious, while the poor and sick man has images of sickness and misery. Man manifests the entirety of his subconscious id as in whatever dimension. However, since sin leads to death, birth and death are rules created by man. The decline of Adamic consciousness through relying on dualistic authority, the true man, the spiritual man, has neither birth nor death. He was always there in the beginning and was never born. He already is and always will be. Man is thus freed from the laws of karma, sin, and death by truth, and manifests man created in his own image and likeness. The only way for a person to be free is to live their destiny and fulfill the divine plan for their life. Well done, good and